presented by the Daily Free Press. This is Unmasked. Welcome back to Unmasked, the storytelling podcast that uncovers the thoughts, feelings, and voices of the BU community. I'm your host, Adam Lazowski. Every day, we naturally make decisions about who we're going to be. When interacting with others, navigating the school environment, and cultivating our careers, we constantly battle with internal and external events that influence our demeanor and, as a result, our behavior. The state of your mind and heart impacts the course of your experience in the world, but it also extends to the people and situations you encounter along the way. So, what kind of qualities do you bring to the table? For the Season 2 finale of Unmasked, we decided to focus on the smartness and kindness, two major qualities that are essential for functional life. But if you had to choose between the two, which one is more important to you? Now let's turn it over to our field reporting segment to see what BU students had to say. Hi, I'm Adam Lazowski.
And I'm Veronica Thompson.
And we're at GSU today asking students a specific question.
We're asking, if you had to choose, is it more important to be kind or to be smart?
I would rather be kind because it gets you a lot further in life.
I think this is really hard, but I would also choose kind because I agree it would make you go further in life.
Yeah, I think if you're a kind person, then that will get you to a lot of places rather than just being smart.
I feel like it's more important to be kind because what's the point in being a person if you're not nice?
I think it's more important to be intelligent, like smart, because it's a type of intelligence, kindness, emotional intelligence.
Whoa. I think it's more important to be kind because it matters more how you treat other people with how your life goes.
Were you talking about I would also say it's more important to be kind because then ultimately you'll just be happier about everything. I don't know.
Yeah. Be nice.
I think I choose smart because if I am a smart person, I can achieve more accomplishment than being a kind person, and I can schedule my time to do the right things.
It's smarter to be kind.
So I would choose to be kind because I think there's obviously being kind involves any sort of emotional intelligence, which isn't necessarily linked to intelligence itself, what we associate with smartness. But also people who are smart and not kind remind me of Silicon Valley tech bros who don't have any emotional intelligence and they're out of touch with reality, and they're just out here to make money and exploit people's labor and ruin people's lives, like Jeff Bezos and what's his name, Elon Musk. That's true. Some of these guys aren't even smart, but we perceive them to be smart, and they're not the kind people. So that's not a slay.
I think kind because there are a lot of smart people in charge of major businesses who do not treat people the right way, and I think it really messes up the world. So
I would say smart because when you're smart, you can find solutions to certain problems and help out a lot of people in a better or more impactful way than being kind.
I'd say kindness is more important because it directly impacts other people. So being intelligent might not impact someone in a positive manner, but being kind to someone else can kind of change how they're feeling.
I think I'd rather be kind because I think intelligence in our society is defined by systems that are very flawed. But I think to be kind and to be a good person, that boils down to who you are on the inside, and I think that you either have it or you don't, if that makes sense.
I personally think that there needs to be a good balance of both because I feel like being smart helps advance a lot, society in a way, but being kind is what actually keeps society going, because if you're not kind to other people, there's no connection and actual love between people, which actually is what makes the human experience. So overall, I do think kindness is more important than intelligence, but you do need both
to have a well-functioning like society and community.
It's more important to be kind because the curse of knowledge is outweighed by the value of kindness and being kind to everyone.
I think it's more important to be kind because it doesn't matter how smart you are, you will not get anywhere in life if you're a jackass and don't know how to get along with people.
Hi, I think that it is better to be smart because I think that you can get a lot of places being strategic and not just being kind and a pushover in every situation. I think it is very good to be smart about how you interact with people and what you say, what you don't say, etc.
So I think a healthy balance between the two is always good. I definitely think being kind is important because you don't want to obviously it hurts people's feelings. You don't want to induce any negative mental problems within people because of your behavior. So that's obviously very important. But also being smart and blunt is important because you have to make informed decisions. Not making an informed decision is that's going to obviously have negative repercussions. So you got to have a balance between the two because either having one or the other exclusively is not healthy for the people around you in your community. Yeah.
Anybody else? I think it's more important to be kind rather than smart because being kind obviously just makes you a good person all around, and I feel in a lot of situations that can make up for if you are not as smart, if you're not really that intelligent in terms of even jobs and stuff like that. If you are kind and a good person, that can make up for it in a lot of ways. And I feel it's more important to be a good person internally rather than to have a lot of knowledge in your brain, because that will just set you up better in terms of life in general, and in the long run I think it's more beneficial.
Thank you guys. I just have one comment. I think being kind is intelligence in itself, and being kind helps you sympathize with others. So I think that's just way more useful in life than being smart. There we go. Thank you guys.
Way to sum it up.
She has something.
So I'm going to go against the grain here and say that I think it's more important to be smart. Personally, I get really frustrated sometimes because if you're having a debate with someone, I'd rather have an argument with someone who's smart that disagrees with me than someone who does not maybe share their all-encompassing opinion to save people's feelings.
If you are truly smart, wouldn't you choose kindness?
So after getting quotes just now, we wanted to reflect on how this episode went. It is our season 2 finale, and this is the end of the semester. So going into this question, I think we already knew that kindness was going to be the most chosen answer. But I was pretty surprised to see how many people decided to justify smartness over kindness. And I think it was cool that we got some qualifying answers, as well as some people who said, if you're smart, you'll be kind, because that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting some of the ways the students that we saw here at GSU today who responded, the ways they sort of went around maybe saying kind, which was the common answer, by stating that smart could be employed strategically in a way to try to show kindness, but in different ways using your wits. So I think that was an interesting way to phrase it, and it definitely brings up a different point of view, which I think is important to any type of conversation.
I think that the way we deliberated with the wording of the question influenced people's answers, because we could have asked people if they would personally rather be kind or smart. But I wanted to see what people say objectively. Is it more important to be kind or to be smart? Because I think that definitely changes the answer. I think that most people aren't going to portray themselves as corrupt in any way by saying, I'd rather be smart and not kind. But if we're just talking generally and about society and life, I think that makes the answer way more interesting and gives people a lot more to consider.
When looking at my point of view or perspective on the situation, I would say I'm not 100% on one side. I feel that, I'll provide an example. If you were on the side of being more intelligent or smart, you could say hypothetically that being smarter sort of provides you with a path to some sort of enlightenment, right? Where you have so much information, you know so many things, that you can discover new things with that information. You're not limited really in any way. Not to say that being kind is limiting, because being kind can open up doors to anything. You're being kind, you're meeting new people, you're interacting with others, you're developing connections, you're learning new things along the way, right? So I'm mixed between the two, because you can be kind and become smart, or be smart and try to become kind.
I think that objectively in this reality, a lot of circumstances that exist make it so that it's more, quote unquote, more important to be smart, or that smartness is valued a lot more over kindness in school settings, in workplace settings, in the cutthroat competitions of life in general and society. However, I ultimately believe that kindness is more important than smartness, because kindness is directly related to your health. And if you're not healthy, how can you do anything in life? If you're not healthy, why does smartness even matter if you can't communicate your ideas effectively to other people? I think at the end of the day, it's definitely important to be cognizant of the decisions you make in your life, for yourself, for other people, and for the world.
As the semester is coming to a close and summer is rapidly approaching, we just wanted to leave our listeners with one final question. What qualities would you rather have?
Who are you, and what are you going to bring to the world? Thank you.
Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of Unmasked, presented by the Daily Free Press. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday to hear the latest episode, and find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Our podcast archive is located at dfpress.co/listen, where you can listen to previous episodes of Unmasked and hear people share their takes on intriguing topics. Once again, this is your host, Adam Lazowski, signing off until we meet again.